Hi there, it's Sarah again from Roxy Creations by Sarah, and what I thought I'd show you today is something that my sister and I did in between Christmas and New Year's. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll probably know that I went to Italy to spend time with my sister and her family for Christmas. And between Christmas and New Year's we went into Florence. And on our first day, as we were walking around the streets, I said to my sister, I've got a challenge for you. What we need to do when we're in Florence is we're going to take on the Dirty Street Challenge. So the Dirty Street Challenge was where we had to make a journal page or two made only from items which we picked up on the street. So literally, we were picking up rubbish. So these are the two pages that I did. So this is just a small one here, and this is the larger one, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what I found. So in the background, what we've got are some university notes. I found a bundle of them in the gutter, so I grabbed one of those pages. And then there was a rubbish pile that was outside an apartment building next to where we stayed for a few days, and there was a whole bunch of Christmas wrapping and cards. So I actually grabbed a couple of cards, and I think my sister grabbed two as well. So this was just a little Christmas tag. On the back, I put a ticket to a gallery. I'm not sure which one, but I put the ticket on the back, and then these pictures here, this one, this one, this one, this one. I've got one little one there and one little one there. Well, actually, that's a bit of a layer of multiple pictures there. They actually came from, and there's one in here too, sorry. They actually came from, we found some really old travel guides, ones that were out of date. I think mine was in like German or something, and Rachel's was in something else. And we used lots of little images out of travel guides. So I've cut out a little lady here. I've cut out an angel here. You probably might recognize these from some famous Italian paintings. This guy, a bit of background there, here. That was in the travel guide. I think that was some carpeting, etc. And then we did a little bit of journaling. So the challenge was to complete a page only using things that we found on the street in Florence. It was funny picking things up. We were getting really, really strange looks, but to be honest, I didn't care. So this was one little card. The only thing that I've put here that we didn't find in the street was just the paper clip. So Statue of David had to go in. This and this and this. So these two were from cigarette papers. So this was the outside and this was the inside, and I've put the Dirty Street Challenge. And I'm pretty sure this is something that comes off cigarette packets as well. But I kind of like the colouring. So that's what I ended up doing. Rachel, I think, has filmed what she did as well. But then we went to Rome, sort of in mid-January before we went home. And what I'm going to do today, I've got a few pages left in my journal. I'm going to attempt to do the Dirty Street Challenge for Rome. So in Rome, I didn't quite find as much stuff, but I think I found enough that I can work with. I found a couple of shopping bags, which are quite good because they've got images on, so I can use them. I found, this is a ticket to the Vatican Museum. This was just on the street outside. This was a shopping guide to Rome, and I thought that this might be good because it's got maps, a map in it, a big map, which would be helpful. And then I think the back side is most, yeah, it's ads. So that's not so interesting. This was traveling the Vatican museums, the Colosseum, things like that. I think it might be in Italian. I don't know. Looks like it's Italian. Again, it's got a good map inside, but I also thought like I could use those two pictures there. And then I quite like this one. This was a brochure I found on the street for a gladiator museum, and I quite like the costumes, the logos, and there are some costumes inside. So I thought I'd have a go at the Dirty Street Challenge. I don't know if it's going to be as interesting as my Florence one because I didn't get as many bits of good pieces off the floor in Rome. I think we kind of picked stuff up on the first day, and then we might have forgotten about it a little bit, so we didn't quite get enough stuff. So I'm just going to firstly cut up the bags, just tearing them with scissors. And I thought this is quite a fun challenge. Like if you do a junk journal and you go overseas or you go somewhere special, see if you can do the Dirty Street Challenge. Hashtag the Dirty Street Challenge. See if you can do a page or two in your journal. It might sound a bit gross, but it was pretty funny. Sometimes we were picking things up and they were just disgusting and we had to throw them back down to the ground. Or we'd make our kids pick them up. And then luckily they had gloves on because it was cold. So it's a bit awkward, this corner. But you might even find, like, in some places they might be too clean and you may not be able to find stuff. But like even just like we found the travel guides in, you know, rubbish bins, that, you know, piles of rubbish that was out to be thrown out. And we just had a look through it. We didn't rifle through it fully, but we had a bit of a look. All right, so I'm going to trim that down a little bit more. I like the torn edge look. I've only got a little ruler. Trying to move myself up so you can see. I'm just eyeballing it, not measuring. Just approximating. Doesn't matter if it's a bit rough. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look, a little bit off the top. Sorry, I've got things in the way. I'll just move them. Hopefully I'm not whacking my head in the screen too much, just so I can move my journal out of the way, so you can get a bit of a better view of what I'm trying to do. Now, someone told me, I think it might have been my sister, or someone told my sister and I read it, that if you want to tear a small strip off, it's actually good to press your ruler down on the small side and, let's get it started, and tear the bigger side away. It's just, oh, well, that didn't really work, did it? I think I need to press a bit harder. I think it probably doesn't help that I'm on top of this is an old feed sack, on top of my little table. Press a little bit harder, I think. Okay, that worked. Then it was easier to get that small bit out. Okay, so let's measure again. I'm just popping my book on top of a tin because this is my Italian journal from my trip, and I have pretty much finished it, although I do have a few pages left at the end that I can still put some more stuff in. And it's so fat. I'll make another video of that after I've finished this one and show you what it ended up looking like for the people that might have seen the first video that I made. Pretty happy with how it turned out, and now in the future I'll be able to look back on it and read about all the little things that we did, because, you know, over time your memories fade, and I think that's it's a good way to you know, even all the little funny stories and restaurants we went to and stuff like that, so that, you know, if I go back again one day, which I probably will, we can remember where we went and where we might like to go again, or where we might not want to go. But for the most part, all the places where we ate in Italy were pretty good. Rachel's careful about letting us select places. I'm the kind of person that would just go anywhere, and she wouldn't let me do that because there is some food that's not so good there. So so we did eat a lot of really nice places. So I'm just going to glue this down as the background using the old Yoo-hoo glue. Just making sure I cover it really, really well so it sticks right down to the edge. This is just a very thin shopping bag type of paper, which is quite good because my journal is so bulky. It's really, really, really full. After I do this video, I might do one and just show you what's in there. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, especially considering it's like my first journal that I've made myself. It's my second one I've kind of done because my sister gave me one a couple of years ago for Christmas, and I did do stuff in it. That's a bit uneven, but I'll just trim that later. But this is the first one that I made, and to be honest, the one I did, even though my sister said she liked it, I thought I could have done a much better job. Okay, so let's have a look. Firstly, I think I'm going to use those two images because they're nice and bright. So I'm just going to cut this one out. So Sistine Chapel, we went to the Sistine Chapel. It was so different to what I thought it would be. It was actually so much higher than I imagined it would be. And I didn't realize the painting was as big as it was, as in all the scenes that form the Sistine Chapel. And of course you weren't allowed to take photos. But, you know, lots of people were doing it. I might have slipped one in. It didn't, you know, they didn't do much if they caught people doing it. They just told you not to. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't use any flash. Don't want to make the painting fade or anything. And I must say, I'd never been in the Vatican Museum. I'd been in the Vatican church part. I don't know if I'm getting the words right. Which I really, really liked. I'd done that before. I'd been up the dome before and I did that again this time, but I'd never been into the Sistine Chapel because last time we were there, which was 20 years ago, the line was ridiculous. It was all the way down the street and around the corner and there was no way that we were going to get in there. But this time we organised our tickets beforehand and we literally went straight in. It was really easy. So I'm cutting out some of these gladiator uniforms now. Figured I can get some good shapes. I'm not going to be too pedantic about it. Just get the basic shape. Otherwise we'll be here all night. It is night time here in Australia. Should speed this part up, right, in the video. Put it into fast forward like lots of other people do. Bear with me. I must say I'm really enjoying the journaling. I've spent a bit of time on finishing off my Italian one, which I hadn't done. So it was nice to get that done. It'd be good to do more, but I do work, and not only do I work, I do a lot of stuff for my son's rugby club. I'm vice president, sort of running a lot of our teams, so I'm pretty busy in the afternoons and I play sport myself, so I have training as well, and so does my son. So I don't get any time during the week really to journal, because by the time we get home it's on to homework for my son. Sometimes I've got some schoolwork because I'm a teacher. And then it's usually a reasonably early bedtime because he goes to the gym and we get up at like sort of 5:30 every morning. So don't get to do much journaling during the week, but I like to think about it and try to occasionally watch a YouTube video or two during the week. To get some inspiration from other people. I'm really enjoying watching some of the YouTubers out there at the moment. Of course, I like watching my sister's. It's always good when I see she's put a new video up so I can see what she's up to. Okay, what else I like? I like this crest here. I like that as well. I think I'll just roughly cut around that one. Won't make it perfect because there's too many delicate details. Always fun when I watch my sister do cutting out. It feels weird because she's left-handed and I just feel like it's all wonky, but I guess that's what she's used to. I don't know if she has left-handed scissors, but I don't know. I guess it must be a bit awkward by the way the blades are situated if you're just using right-handed scissors. I think she does have right-handed scissors because I'm sure I used them when I was over there and they were pretty normal. All right, well, that's a pretty impressive one as well. All right, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put, I did like that map, but I've already cut out some bits. So what I might do is I might actually rip some of this map up and stick some bits of this map. So with this one, tear off some of the excess. mind trying to get the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica in there. What can I get? Get the Castle Sant'Angelo. We went there. That was a really good place to go and see. Piazza Navono we stayed just there on that street there in a really cute little boutique hotel. And Piazza Navono is one of my sister's favourites, so I had no idea where I was booking when I booked it, but luckily it sounded like I booked a good place because we were really central to things. We could just walk over to the Vatican, we could walk to the Castle Sant'Angelo, we walked to the Colosseum. Nothing was more than about half an hour's walk. Up to the Trevi Fountain, Spanish Steps. Everything ended up being fairly close by, which was really, really handy. So I'm measuring here. I'm not fussed if it covers all the way up to the top. Tear off oh, that's such a small strip. I think I'm just going to do it by hand, just a tiny little strip down here. Rather than with the ruler, it's a bit hard with the ruler. I've only got a little ruler, I don't know where my big one's gone. That will do. Measure again. Trials and Tribulations of the Dirty Street Challenge. I'd love to see other people have a go at this. I think it could be really interesting to see what kinds of bits and pieces you find on the street in other countries. So if you do, let us know, let Rachel and I know, and we'll have a look at what you've done. Hello, kitty. She's meowing at me, although I just fed her. Maybe she wants more, or maybe she just wants a pat. Don't be surprised if she suddenly jumps up on the table. She seems to always want to sit where I'm crafting. There we go. So now I've got two pretty good backgrounds. The one thing I don't mind adding, maybe a bit of washi tape, but we'll see how we go. I may or may not. I'll just see how we go with this stuff. So, Colosseum. Glue on the back. Whoops. Got a big blob there. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Just going to get rid of that page. Got a bit of glue on it. Got heaps of them. Don't need to keep that one. That's good, not sticky. Thinking where I want my gladiators. Maybe over there. I'll do them next. Keep them on screen. Got a very strange setup with my camera. I came home from Italy after Rach got me going on a YouTube channel and needed to buy myself a tripod. So I bought one off eBay. It's really good, but it doesn't rotate enough to give you sort of a bird's eye view facing down. So I've kind of got the tripod stand leaning back here, back this way, sort of on a table, and so that my camera can face down. It's a bit of a strange setup, but it's the only thing I could do. This may not be the most interesting Dirty Street Challenge because I just don't feel like I quite found enough stuff, but it's kind of a bit late now, but we'll see. I'll do the best I can with what I've got. Layering a few things over. I might cheat just a little bit and add in some washi. I've already got a ticket like this from when we went to see the museum, so I think I might actually stick it on that side. No, actually I might stick it all. I don't know. Not liking that. Let's do this one. Cover that up. I like that little crest. I might put it that way. It looks better. I've got a lot of tickets and things in my journal, so I've already got this guy, but it doesn't matter if he's in there twice. All right, now I'm just going to find a label. Might choose a label, might not. This paper's not so good to write on because it's all glossy, so what I might do is use my other bag. Thinking on the fly here, I'm just going to rip it open. Sorry, this is a very unplanned video. May not work out that well. Okay. And this one, I'm going to get the word Roma. I feel like I like these images, but I think they're a bit big to fill in. They're not really going to fit too well. So I might leave them there. Is there anything else I want off this? I do like the other gladiator uniforms, particularly that one, but I just don't think it'll fit there. So I might leave that to the side as well. This page isn't nearly as interesting as my other one. So now what I'm going to do, I've put a label on. The only thing I didn't find on the street is with my pen, I'm going to label what it is. And just when we did it, Dirty Street Challenge, January 2019. Okay, not my greatest work, but I think you get the idea. I'd love to see if you do this challenge when you're traveling and see what you can come up with. Okay, hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration. If not, hope I didn't waste your time. Okay, thanks, bye.